it, take it slowly. Hoover has not even crossed the center line. Faye has a couple timeouts if she wants. Nope. Signaling the play. Hoover with 10 seconds to work. Left of the lane, pulls up. 8-footer is short. Rebound is loose. Atonga McCormick has it, and she's pushed to the floor, but it traveled. And with 4.4 to go, the ball is back with the Bears. And now Nick Berger. 4 big players for WashU. Hoover takes the basketball from the official, looks to lob. Unruh cuts to the basket. It's McFarlin who gets it. Clock is running. McFarlin inside the free throw line for the win. Off the back iron, and we're going to overtime. Good look by McFarlin. She got it just inside the free throw line, but missed it off the back iron.
Washington University of St. Louis 64 will play 5 more minutes at least to determine who will play for the Walnut Bronze tomorrow.
McFarlin and Atonga McCormick in the center circle. It is tapped back by Atonga McCormick, but tracked down by Hoover as WashU gets the basketball to open the extra session, moving right to left in the red uniforms. Berger to Unruh for 3 in the lead. You bet. 67-64. The three-point shooting by each team has been a big difference in the second half of this contest.
Amherst doesn't need an answer here. Doesn't need a 3.
Berger goes for the steal, and it's into the press row across the way.
I like the job that Faye's done. She's put Berger, who's longer but still has the quickness to stay with Stedman, on her to take her out of the game.
Atonga McCormick with 4 fouls on the floor for Amherst. Runs a 1-4 stack set. Finucane backs it up. Using a screen from Lehman, rolls right, steps back for the tie. It's off the back iron and hits off the top of the backboard, off the shot clock as well, and falls off behind the basket to WashU. And that, Gordon, maybe was a forced shot on the offensive end.
Yeah, at the same time, Finucane, I mean, you don't mind the shot because she's got to get going. She's got no points in this game. She had something like 2 points in the first game last year, and there she nearly creates a steal. And WashU will get the timeout. You know, you got to get her going here. At some point, she's got to make shots for you to have a chance to win.
30-second timeout by WashU as the Bears are able to save the possession. Hoover had Nancy Faye. This is her 9th visit.
Former Badger, Wisconsin-Madison.
WashU will have 15 to shoot out of the stoppage. Catherine Berger to inbound.
Last semifinal that went overtime, Eastern Connecticut State defeating Wisconsin-Eau Claire 52-49. That was in Terre Haute. That was in 2003. As Jamie McFarlin
puts it up and in for WashU, a 5-point lead. 69-64. Cutting to the basket is Stedman, who wasn't ready but is able to save it out to Renner. Awkward three-pointer, short off the front of the rim. McFarlin chases the rebound all the way back at the center line. And now you know WashU is going to start to run some time with 3.5 remaining in OT.
Not a good look from Renner.
McFarlin dribbling left for the cutting. Hoover off the glass and in with a left-handed layup. This is the WashU team we've expected to see. They are poised here in the second half and overtime, and it forces a timeout by Amherst, a 30-second timeout. 71-64, WashU by 7 with 3:11 left in the extra session. So you had seen the last overtime semifinal.
I had.
You just didn't recall.
I didn't remember it. That was an Eastern Connecticut State team that lost to Trinity University of Texas in the national championship game. Allison Coleman was the standout player for the Warriors back then, and she was kind of a neat story. She drove to the Final Four from Willimantic, Connecticut to Terre Haute, Indiana the year before. It's about a 24 or 23-hour drive. And she had driven that distance because she wanted to see what it was like. And then the next year she got to ride because she got to fly because her team made the Final Four.
Well, after WashU lost to Illinois Wesleyan on November 21st to fall to 2-1 on the season, Nancy Faye said yesterday she told her team in that post-game conversation, this is where we want to return. And return they have, coming back from a 12-point deficit, forcing overtime and leading by 7, 71-64. 3:05 remaining. Finucane looking to lob for Lehman in the lane. McFarlin goes for the steal, ties her up, forces the adjustment, and Lehman's jumper from 2 feet away is off to the right. And good defense by McFarlin.
And that's Amherst's go-to play when they need a basket. WashU just stopped it, scored, and counted with a free throw coming.
Berger underneath the basket, and WashU is feeling another trip to the national championship game. They were there in 2007, lost to DePaul. They were there in 2009, last season in Michigan, and lost to George Fox. Lem Atonga McCormick fouls out, and Catherine Berger will shoot free throws for WashU to try to make it a double-digit lead. It was tied at 64, Gordon, coming into OT. A 9-0 run by WashU.
Wow. Well, you know, I don't. It's a surprise. It was a surprise to see WashU rally and get this tied. I don't think it's a surprise. The fact that they're about to score the first 10 points of overtime, that's a surprise. But the fact that they came in with the momentum, that's not a surprise.
Neither team has been in OT this season. But WashU has an opportunity to go up by 10. There's still a lot of time for Amherst. But it just seems like they're kind of out of rhythm a little bit on the offensive end, forcing some shots. And WashU has really tightened up defensively in the post as well. Berger's free throw is good. It's 74-64. 2:49 left in the extra session.
How big were those free throws now for Stedman? Chance to win it at the line. Has the ball
Stedman
here.
on the right wing, up high to Finucane, looking to drive, steps back, tries the three-pointer instead, short. McFarlin with the rebound for WashU, and she is quickly fouled.
Not intentionally, I don't believe. They're not trying to put her on the free throw line with 2:34 to play. It's what they just did, but that's not what they're trying to do. First 10 points of overtime scored by WashU. First 10 points of the first half scored by Amherst.
Gordon, 12 rebounds from Jamie McFarlin.
Well, she needs
10 of those coming in the second half in overtime.
She needs 4 more to get 1,000. Will she get it in this game?
At the line, looking to add to the lead. Off the back iron and no good.
Game's not over for Amherst here, but they look as shell-shocked as you can be.
Here's the second attempt, and that's long as well, but McFarlin gets her own rebound.
There's number 13. She needs 3 more.
Gordon is keeping track, folks. Berger, corner right. Up high to McFarlin.
And they're going to foul her again because of the way that last trip went. Well,
Lehman's trying to foul, but Amherst cannot get WashU spreading the floor very nicely.
At this point, don't foul. You've run the clock down this far.
That's true.
I mean, if you're going to foul, you got to get it immediately. Don't wait until there's 10 seconds when you need a stop. And, the entire Amherst sideline looks frozen in place. Renner, when she came off the floor, was nearly in tears. So, obviously, mindset here for Amherst is about as far away from where it needs to be as McFarlin hits the first free throw, 11 points straight to open overtime. The Bears leading 75-64 with 2:13 to play in extra time.
Second free throw is up, and it is 12 straight in the extra 5 minutes by WashU. 76-64. Dunleavy, a three-point shooter, has it blocked by Hoover. Underneath, it's Dagnall who gets it back. Her shot is blocked. Out to Stedman driving through the lane. Got it to go and a foul.
Wow, tough shot. Needs to complete the three-point play here, obviously, to get back in the this. And Amherst is kind of stuck because you're going to be down at best 9 unless you miss and get a rebound. Sarah Lehman is going to check out.
Well, how about the job by WashU today, overcoming long scoring deficits, Gordon?
Yeah.
It took them over 4 minutes to get their first points of the game. They didn't score for the final 3:45 of the first half, and yet they got the points when they needed them most. And Alex Hoover, hard to the floor by Caroline Stedman, who puts her jersey to her face in disbelief because now Stedman is gone for Amherst. Second player to foul out for the number 1 and unbeaten, the Lord Jeffs.
Yeah,
who appear to be headed to their first loss of the season. We will not have an unbeaten champ this year. With 1:56 remaining, Wash U by 10 in overtime, and Alex Hoover shooting 2. First free throw, though, won't go. Wash U needs to be able to hit free throws.
Yeah, both teams. Stedman with another miss there. That was, the 2 misses with 20 seconds to play in regulation that could have given them a chance to win the game.
Hoover splits the pair, 11-point edge, 77-67. Voigt top of the arc for 3, air ball, out of bounds to Wash U. G.P. Gramacki still coaching his squad, providing some words of encouragement here as they'll face guard Evans, who gets it in as double team to McFarlin and fouled to the floor. Lehman will help her up.
Yeah, very hard played game here, but not dirty by any stretch of the imagination.
18 points and 14 rebounds for Jamie McFarlin, who is shooting 2 for Wash U. I think that answers the question of who is your go-to player. And more importantly, Gordon, almost all of this has come in the second half, when you need your senior leaders to take over in big games. Jump shot free throw is in from McFarlin. 12-point edge, 1:49 left in the bonus session. Remember, we will have a second semifinal as well, as McFarlin's free throw is off the mark and the rebound is chased down by Dunleavy. Dunleavy up the right edge of the lane, travels. 1:42 to play, Wash U by 12. It's Rochester unranked against Hope in the second semifinal today. It'll come about a half hour after the conclusion of this one, as we're obviously now behind schedule due to the fact that the second semi was supposed to tip at 7 o'clock local time. And we will have some coverage between games for you as well. You'll hear from the head coaches of both Hope and Rochester.
You look across the line at Amherst's fans, which are basically Amherst's parents, and there's a lot of hands on chins and the Monet the Thinker pose going on right now. And for Amherst College, they're going to have a game tomorrow. They're going to bring everybody back. I mean, this program's not going anywhere by any stretch of the imagination. But to be so close after what happened last year, where you were just blown off the floor, to be so close and to have so many moments that you could go back and say, if we had just done this, if we had just made that free throw, if I had just made that shot, this one's going to sting a lot.
Dagnall blocked by Hoover. Berger to the basket in transition is fouled. Catherine Berger shooting 2 with Wash U up by 14. Just elementary at this point. A 12-0 run to start overtime, and Amherst is left thinking, what if, Gordon, because they were up by double digits in the second half of this game.
Yeah, much like Bowdoin was up big when they lost to Milliken, as the first free throw is up. As we're going to get some new names onto the floor here. Shannon Finucane's going to check out. Sarah Lehman's going to check out. In for the first time, freshman forward, 6'1" from Hamden, Massachusetts. That's Bridget Crowley. Also into the game for the first time, sophomore forward, 5'10" from Dover, Mass. It's Olivia Rizzo, and I like the move by Gramacki here. It's not just the fact that you're going to lose as Wash U takes out their 5 starters.
Celebrate victory for the Bears, who come to their feet. A good following from St. Louis, only 170 miles here to Bloomington.
Jenny Lloyd checking into the
12-0 run for Wash U to start as clock expires. Final score, 86-75. And for the third time in 4 years, Washington University in St. Louis will play for the Walnut and Bronze. It'll be tomorrow night here in Bloomington, or tomorrow afternoon here in Bloomington, a 2 o'clock tip-off. The only thing to be decided, who will they face? We'll find out next as Rochester takes on Hope here at the Shirk Center in Bloomington. 86-75, the final score. Don't go anywhere. We'll continue our coverage on our audio broadcast, and we'll be back with a video of Game 2 shortly as Rochester takes on Hope for the right to meet Wash U. The fans are celebrating here at the Shirk Center following an 11-point win in overtime.